All right, class. So today we're going to continue working on laws of exponents. We took notes on page 8. We talked about multiplying um, like bases or multiplying with like bases. When you multiply exponents with like bases, you add the exponents. We also wrote notes on dividing exponents. Yeah, book falling apart. Dividing exponents with like bases, and you subtract the exponents to get your answer there. That's the shortcut way to do it. And when you are simplifying or evaluating an exponent raised to another exponent, or what they say, a power raised to another power, you're going to multiply the exponents together. Okay? Super important that you know those shortcuts because the numbers get larger and it's almost impossible to write those numbers out in expanded form. So you need to make sure that you understand the shortcut. All right, so yesterday we started the guided practice problems. We got up to number 7. So we're going to continue working on the guided practice problems. For those of you that are writing, well, actually, I want everyone to write it on a separate sheet of paper because you're not going to have enough space to show your work on underneath the problem in Canvas. So everybody should be writing this on a separate piece of paper. Okay, does anybody need more time before I move on to number 8? Are there any questions about the problems that we did on yesterday before I begin with the problems that we're doing today? Okay, I don't see any hand raises online or in person, so I'm going to keep going, okay? All right, so let's look at number 8. Let's look at number 8. We're going to do another power of a power, just as we did in number 6 and number 7. Number 8 is another power of a power. We have parentheses 6x to the 4th power, y to the 6th power, and we're going to raise everything because we put everything in parentheses, and we're going to raise everything to the 3rd power. So you're going to raise all of this because it's in parentheses to the 3rd power. So these are powers of a power, okay? All right, so when you're evaluating this, if you remember from yesterday, I told you anytime a number or a variable does not have an exponent, the exponent that's understood to be there is 1. So here in the parentheses, 6 does not have an exponent attached to it, so the exponent here is automatically 1. All the other variables have exponents. So now what we do is we take this power and multiply it times the powers that are in the parentheses. So that's going to be 3 times 1, then 3 times the 4, then 3 times that 6. Okay? So we have 6. When we say 3 times that 1, that gives us 3. Then we have x. When we say 3 times that 4 that's there, that gives us 12. Then we have y. When we say 3 times that 6 that's there, that gives us 18. Any questions about how we got this so far? Okay. So now we're going to simplify the number. We're going to say 6 times 6 times 6, okay? And you can always put that out to the side. 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. And what's 6? What is it? 216. You said that quickly. 216. So we got 216, x to the 12th power, y to the 18th power. And this is our answer for number 8. Any questions about how to do a power of a power? Please make sure you copy. I'm going to pause and then I'm going to allow you to do number 10, number 9 on your own, 9 and 10. All right, so now I'm going to do, Naya says she's copying. Okay, go ahead, babe. I'm just going to write down number 9 and number 10, and I want you to do 9 and 10 on your own, okay? All right. Number 9. All of this raised to the third power. Everything in the parentheses raised to the third power. And number 10, everything that's in the parentheses, you're going to raise it to the second power. See if you can do the 2 on your own. Okay? All right, so let's go over 9 and 10. Make sure we got those right, okay? Remember, if a number or a variable does not have an exponent attached to it, you're automatically going to put a 1 here, okay? These powers are raised to the power of 3. So a power of a power, when you're simplifying, you multiply the powers together. So you're going to multiply 3 times all of the powers in the parentheses. So this is going to give you base of 4. 3 times that 1 that's there is going to be 3. X is the next base. 3 times the 3 that's already there is going to give you 9. Okay, hold on. Let me let her in. Okay. Y, right? 3 times the 3 that's already there again gives you 9. So we're going to simplify 4 to the third power. That's 4 times 4 times 4. And you can write that out to the side if you need to. What's 4 times 4? 16. And then what's 16 times 4? 64. So your answer here is going to be 64, x to the 9th power, y to the 9th power. Okay? Raise your hand if you got that right. Use the raise your hand tool. Well, yeah, you guys are fine to raise your hand. Okay. Yay. All right, good deal. Okay, but you got it. All right, don't worry about it. Just let me know you got it. All right, you can lower your hand. Let's look at number 10, okay? Number 10 again. If you don't see an exponent on a number or a variable, it's automatically 1. So this is going to be 1 here, 1, 1. Okay? So when you have a power raised to a power, you multiply the powers together. So this power, you're going to multiply it times all the powers that are in the parentheses. So this is going to give me 7 as the base. 2 times that 1 that's there is 2. X as the base. 2 times that 1 there is 2. Y is the last base. 2 times the 1 that's already there is 2. So when we simplify, we're going to simplify this number completely. 7 times 7 gives us what? 49. So we have 49, x to the second power, y to the second power. Raise your hand if you got that one right. Okay, that's good. Everybody here? Good deal, babe. All right, that's perfect. Good job. Okay, you can lower your hand and let's look at number 11, okay? I'm going to try to see if I can fit 11 at the bottom and then I'll go to the next page for all the other problems. So number 11, we have x to the third power divided by x, okay? So here, if you don't see an exponent on a number or a letter or variable, it's automatically 1. This is division, so you are going to subtract the exponents. The exponent you're going to write first is the one that's on top, which is 3, minus the one that's on the bottom, which is 1. So your final answer here is x to the second power. Some people already did that. If you've already done this one and you got it right, please raise your hand. Okay, a couple people here. All right, and a slew of people online. Good job, y'all. Okay, you can lower your hand. Great job. Okay, we're going to move to number 12, the next page. Anyone still copying and need more time? All right, so let's move to, is that a raised hand that you need more time? Unmute yourself and let me know. Okay, all right, I'm gonna pause the video for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna do number 12. Okay, so number 12. Number 12 is 18, and you have C to the third power divided by -3 C to the second power. Slide this over so you can see it. All right, so what you do is you divide the numbers first or reduce it, okay? But don't write these as decimals. Keep them as fractions, okay? So here, this will simplify into an integer. What's 18 divided by 3? What kind of 6 does that give you? -6, okay? So we have -6 as our integer, okay? Now here, we got our C's. So we got C, 3 is on top, so you're going to say 3 minus the 2 is on the bottom. So this is going to give me -6 C to the first power, or just C, because it's understood to be an exponent of 1 if you don't see one. Any questions about how we did that one? All right, good. See if you can do 13 on your own. So for 13, you got 9, A to the third power, B to the fifth power, then you have -3, A, B to the second power. See if you can do that one on your own, okay? Okay, so here, again, you want to reduce or simplify the coefficients, the numbers that are in front of the variable. Remember, do not write these as decimals, okay? If it won't reduce into an integer or a whole number of some sort, just reduce the fraction and leave it as a fraction. Here, 9 divided by -3 is going to give me a -3. You have A. There's exponent of 3 on the top and 1 on the bottom. It's automatically a 1 here. So this is 3 minus 1. Then you have B, 5 on the top minus 2 on the bottom. Okay, so this is going to give us -3, A to the second power, B to the third power. Raise your hand if you got that right. Okay, people here got it right. Good job. All right, and a few people online got it right as well. Okay, more people got it right. All right, let's do number 14. Number 14, you have -48, C to the second, D to the fourth, divided by a -8, C, D. See if you can do that one. Go ahead and do, if you're finished with that one, go ahead and do 15, 16, 17, and we can probably do 18 as well. Let me do 14. So we got -48 divided by a -8. That's going to give you a positive what? 6. Okay. So here, the exponent on C is 1 and D is also 1. So you have C, exponent here is 2. You're dividing, so you're going to subtract. It's -1. Then we got D. The exponent here is 4. The exponent here is 1. So you're going to say 4 minus 1. Any questions about that part? So here, this is going to give you 6 C to the first power. I don't have to put a 1 here. It's automatically understood to be a 1 there. Then we have D to the third power. Anybody get that right? Okay, a couple people here got that. Oh, a lot of people here got that right. Okay, good deal. All right, great job. Let's look at 15. See what you got for that one. 22 y to the 6th power z to the 8th divided by 2 y z to the negative 7. All right, same thing. 22 divided by 2, what does that give us? What's 22 divided by 2? 11, right? So we got 11 here. Okay. So now you got your basis y. So we got y. This top exponent is 6. This bottom exponent, if you don't see one, remember it's 1. So it's going to be 6 minus 1. Okay. The next base or variable is z. Okay. We're dividing. So the top exponent goes first. That's 8 minus the bottom exponent is a negative 7. Okay. So this is going to give me 11 y to the 5th power z. Remember minus a negative is plus a positive. So that's going to be 8 plus 7, which gives us what? 15. Anybody get that one right? Okay. All right. Quite a few people here. And quite a few people online. All right. Good deal. Okay. Let's do number 16. You have x to the 2nd power times x to the 7th power. Again, we're going back to multiplying. When you have like bases, you add the exponents. So this is going to be x2 plus 7. So x is being multiplied a total of 9 times. Oops. So it's x to the 9th power. X to the 9th power. Let's look at number 17. We okay so far? Anyone need me to pause? Okay. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. We have parentheses x squared, and we're going to raise that to the 7th power. This is an exponent raised to another exponent, or a power of a power. So when you have an exponent raised to another exponent or a power of a power, you multiply the exponents. So you have 2 times 7. So what's 2 times 7? 14. Any questions about that one? Okay. Number 18. Number 18. We have negative 2, x to the 4th, and we're raising it to the 5th. Here again, this is a power raised to another power. Okay, a power raised to another power, or exponent raised to another exponent. So you multiply the exponents. Remember, when you do not see exponents on a number or a variable, the exponent is automatically 1. Okay, so you're going to multiply 5 times the exponents in the parentheses. So this is going to be negative 2. And I'm going to put this in the parentheses so you know I'm multiplying negative 2 times itself, okay? Instead of just the 2. So we got negative 2. 5 times 1 is going to be 5. Then you have x. You have 4 times 5, which is 20. So now you're going to multiply negative 2 4 other times. A total of 5 times is what you're going to write it as. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Negative 2. Okay? All right. I know that it's written an odd number of times, so I know my answer is going to be a negative. But let's work it out. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 2 is going to be 4. A positive times A negative is going to be a negative. This is -8. Okay. Then we're doing the next one. We got a negative times a negative. This one right here is a positive. So what's -8 times a -2? A positive what? Very good. Excellent job. This is gone. We did this. Bring this down. So we have 16 times a -2. What's 16 times a -2? -30. Very good. -32. So your answer here is going to be a -32. Sorry. X to the 20th power. Good job. Anybody get that right? Okay, a couple people. That's good. Okay. All right, we stop there with the guided practice so I can show you how to do the negative exponent, okay? So we go back to our exponent notes. Okay, we go back to our exponent notes, laws of exponents. We're going to continue this. This is continuation of page 8. I'm going to put page 8 so that when I take my pictures, I know to put this on page 8. Any questions? I know to put this on page 8. Are there any questions? Oh, there's a question in the chat. Okay. Now, are you ready yet? Okay. Good to go, babe. All right. So here we go. Let's do the easy one first. Let's do 0 exponent, because that's the easier one. Can't see it again. No, it's continuation of page 8, because it's all laws of exponents. This is a continuation of page 8. All of this is laws of exponents. So we got 0 exponent, okay? Anytime that you have 0 as an exponent, let's suppose I say 5 to the 0 power. This means that I'm not going to multiply 5 at all. I'm not going to multiply 5 at all. Okay, so my answer here is just going to be 1. Miss Reyes, why is it just going to be 1? Because if it's 0, that's going to affect everything else that's being multiplied. That's going to change everything else to 0. So anytime all this is saying is, I'm not going to multiply 5 at all. So my answer is automatically going to be 0. Any number raised to the 0 power, the answer is going to be 1. Put an asterisk here. The answer is 1. So even 100 raised to the 0 power, the answer is 1. Any number raised to the 0 power is going to be 1. So if I have 7, then I have x raised to the 0 power. All this is saying is I'm not going to multiply the x. That should not affect the 7. So this is going to be 7 times this 1, which doesn't affect the 7, and the answer is 7. Any number raised to the 0 power is going to be 1. That's it. Any questions about that? A to the 0 power is 1. B to the 0 power is 1. 11 to the 0 power is 1. All it's saying, I'm not multiplying A. I'm not going to multiply B. I'm not going to multiply 11. Anybody lost? Okay. Negative exponent. Okay. Negative exponent. All right. To make a negative exponent, a positive, change the numerator, or move. Either you're gonna move it if it's on the top, you're gonna move it to the bottom. If it's on the bottom of the fraction, you're gonna move it to the top of the fraction. So you're gonna move the base and exponent either to, as if it's a numerator, move it, change it to the denominator. If it's a denominator, move it down to, well, if it's a, how do I want to say that? Yeah, you just flip it. I don't, to the opposite side. Does that confuse y'all when you say to the opposite side? I think so too, because some people are thinking opposite side from the numerator to the denominator and vice versa. All right, so the example, I'll pause for a second and then I'll give you an example, okay? Or a couple examples. Okay, keep going. All right, so let's look at this. Look at how this works, guys. If you have 3 to the negative 2 power, all you're doing, remember, the automatic fraction for this is to put a 1 under it, right? So technically, all you're doing to make this exponent into a positive exponent is moving it down to the bottom as the denominator. So we have 1 over 3 to now the positive 2. So then when you simplify this, you can either leave it as in exponent form. They want you to simplify it completely. Then it's going to be 3 times 3, which is going to be 9. So either one of these is the answer. This is the exponent form, and this is simplified completely. All right, and I will pause for the calls. You got 5. I'll do another one. 5 to the negative 3. Do the same thing. Move this down to the bottom. Okay. This is a numerator. Move it down to the bottom. So this is going to be 1 over. Now 5 to the positive 3. So when you simplify this completely, you can leave it in exponent form. In most cases, they do want you to leave it in exponent form. Or you can simplify it completely. 5 times 5 times 5 is going to be what? 125. Okay? So you can leave it in exponent form if they want it in exponent form, or you can simplify it completely. All right. Let's look at another type of example. Let's suppose that it's on x to the negative 3 is a denominator this time. Well, to make this exponent a positive exponent, you move it to the top. So my answer here is going to be x to now the positive 3 over 1, or just x to the third power. Okay? Any questions about how we did that? Okay. Let's look at, and guys, remember when I move this up to the top, 1 is already still there, but because it's 1, when I multiply 1 times x to the third power, that still gives me x to the third power. Okay. Let's look at one that looks like this, because it'll make sense what I said if I give you an example that looks like this. Let's suppose that I have this. To make this exponent a positive exponent, you're going to move it to the top. So this, the 2 is already there. I can't ignore that 2 already being there. But I'm going to move this to the top. So I got times. Now it's a positive. Okay? You can put a 1 there if you want to. There's not. This is still not going to change the answer. The final answer is going to be 2y to now the 5th power. Okay? You see how I brought this up to the top to make it a positive exponent. Questions, comments, or concerns about that? Yes, baby, go ahead.